Mid-sized financial institutions like credit unions and community banks have always been about building trust and putting people first. They do a fantastic job in the brick and mortar branch, deliver a warm smile and pleasant experience anytime a member or a customer walks in the door. I thoroughly enjoy every visit I make to my local credit union, but lately I find myself picking up the phone and dialing in more often than actually walking into a physical branch. The experience there is not quite the same, right? It always starts with me spending a minute and a half, 2 minutes answering a series of personal questions trying to prove I am who I say I am before I get any kind of service. That disconnect leads to a level of pain and frustration, extended call duration, and a false perception of security, which is really a conflict with the institution's goals of happy customers and members, efficient calls, and secure transactions. And that disconnect really is a thing of the past. We can easily replicate the warmth of a brick and mortar branch in your contact center engagement with cutting-edge voice authentication. What I'm going to demo today is Illuma Shield, our voice authentication and fraud prevention platform, fully integrated into the Mitel My Voice Business Contact Center platform, which is extremely popular among mid-sized financial institutions like credit unions and community banks.
Thank you for calling Illuma. How may I help you?
Hi, my name is Milan Borkar. My ID number is 111223333. I'm calling because I'd like to make a $10,000 principal payment on my auto loan. I'd like the funds drawn from my personal checking account that ends in 12345.
Your voice has been verified, and I will be happy to assist you with your request right away.
Thank you. So as you saw, it's our demo, less than 2 minutes in, super easy, no pins, passwords, or annoying Q&A. Simply voicing my service request in plain English, it was sufficient for Illuma Shield to authenticate me in real time. Illuma Shield can help your institution improve the user experience, enhance security against fraudsters, and improve operational efficiency in your contact center, and has been designed specifically to be affordable for mid-sized institutions like credit unions and community banks. Now, in addition to making it easy for a caller and the agent to use, we also make it super easy for your compliance teams to track and manage end-user consent. I'll show you this capability in our next demo, combined with our 100% frictionless enrollment process.
Thank you for calling Illuma. How may I help you?
Now, in this demo, I'm going to simulate a typical first-time caller's experience. So let's start with a random ID, 123456789. Once you click Start Verification, and as you can clearly see, Illuma Shield shows that there's no enrollment existing for this particular ID. In this situation, the agent proceeds with the standard process of authentication, whatever the institution may be using. Typically takes a minute or two, followed by 3 to 5 minutes servicing my service request, the reason I called for it. Somewhere during that call, the agent seeks permission from the caller to opt into voice authentication. You see on the screen there are 3 options available. In this demo, we'll go with the opt-in route. So please click opt-in. As you can see, what Illuma Shield does at this point is it uses the spoken content of the phone call that just took place to create that initial enrollment, which means no need to be transferred to a different system, no need to be, to dial a separate number, go through an IVR, no need to repeat specific passphrases multiple times to create that first enrollment. We focused on a zero-friction approach to maximize opt-in rates and generate ROI very quickly. Now, capturing consent at the agent level is just the first step in an effective consent management strategy. Your management and compliance teams need an organization-wide view of consent and also other KPIs like adoption and utilization. We provide this capability through our management portal. So what you see on the screen here is when you log in, the default goes to our calls table, which is essentially history of all the calls that have hit your contact center. As you can see here, a lot of details along date and time of calls, whether they were inbound or outbound calls, whether they were authenticated, as well as consent decisions for each of those calls. We also offer an account-centric view. So if you click on the accounts table, here you see details for every account that's registered with our system. So for example, let's take a closer look at mine. So what you see here is historical transactions on my account specifically. You see things like verification rates, total number of calls, as well as the ability to opt me out of voice authentication should I choose to do so outside of the contact center channel. At the bottom, you see history of my specific calls. If you look at the one I just made on stage, you see a lot more detail in terms of time required to make an authentication decision and so forth. All this info put together gives your management and compliance teams with a broad organization-wide view of consent decisions, utilization, adoption rate, and verification rates. So now you've seen the demo. What's different really about us? Well, we've really focused on simplicity and made sure that the solution was right-sized for mid-sized FIs like community banks and credit unions. That focus has led to a solution that is extremely easy for IT teams to deploy in as little as 3 weeks, super easy for agents to use in the contact center with a simple UI and support for inbound, outbound, and callbacks, super easy for customers and members to use with a completely frictionless enrollment and authentication process, and super easy for compliance teams to track and manage end-user consent. So appreciate everyone's time and attention today. I hope you're able to see how Illuma Shield can help bring an improved user experience, enhanced security, and improved operational efficiency in your contact center. If you like what you saw and feel it would provide value to your institution, please vote us best in show, swing by our booth. We look forward to having the opportunity to work with you.